How's it going, guys? I have a battle against somebody from the GameClucks tournament that was this Saturday. It was our first XY tournament, so we all got a couple of things EV'd together. We had a little bit of a bigger turnout than we normally do. It still wasn't that big, but it's something I would like to increase, hopefully, with the new generation. So that being a thing, that's pretty cool. I've never played this person before, but I guess they're an acquaintance of a friend of mine, so I was like, okay. I didn't really have a choice at this point, because I think this was the semifinals match, and then if I won, I was in the finals. The finals match ended up being against Alex, aka Snorkus, and I played him a bunch of times before, so it was like, okay, you know, whatever, same old, same old. I'd played him like 5 times that day, so I knew his team in and out, and he knew my team in and out, so it just kind of had the same outcome as last time. So I figured this one would be a little bit more of an interesting match, so we'll just jump right into it. It's a little bit of a long one because T-Tar's present. We got some toxic stalling somewhere in the middle as well, but we'll just play along with it. So I've got Noivern here just because it's a choice specs one. I've slapped U-turn on it just to get that initiative. It's really nice to get that going. And I decided to go into my Hitmontop because I can rapid spin away, or at least pretend like I'm going to rapid spin away. I did see that he had a Trevenant in the team preview, so I'm not going to want to go for that right away, despite the fact that I do want to get them off the field as soon as possible for my Noivern. It turns out my Noivern is also slightly mis-EV'd, as are a couple of my Pokemon, so I need to get some reset bags going, or just like the EV reducing berries, because I've noticed that like Noivern has a weird amount of HP on it, and it definitely shouldn't have an even number, but I need to take it off somewhere. So Trevenant switching in the meantime is just like a really super obvious thing that's going to happen. Like, of course he's going to switch it in to take the close combat and to block my rapid spin and all that stuff. So I figure I might as well get a Toxic off. It is a free Toxic on a Trevenant. If it's the Harvest one, like I've been running into a lot, then it's not going to get rid of that status. But a Natural Cure one is definitely a still likely thing. So we'll see what's happening. That right there was my main reason for wanting to get rid of the hazard, so that way my Heat Rotom could switch in fairly safely as well. I put Trick on this guy, and I put a Choice Scarf on this guy, so just to let you know the incoming play, like he doesn't want to take an Overheat, so he's either going to switch into A, T-Tar, or B, Slowbro. I personally would have switched into T-Tar, because it would have taken everything just fine, but I guess he wasn't expecting a Trick at all, slash at this point in the game this early. I knew I wanted to dump the Scarf on the T-Tar or on the Slowbro. Ideally on the Slowbro, but it's great that it came in. So now I get to choice it, and it is essentially crippled for the rest of the game because the Choice Scarf Slowbro is very, very, very pointless. And now that I've got lefties, it'll be nice for once I get rid of T-Tar and I can get a little bit of passive recovery going on. I don't get Pain Split because it's a 5th gen move tutor, but it's what I'm able to do at the moment, I guess. So right now I do get to Volt Switch out. I'm noticing that he doesn't have any ground types going on, so I might as well get out of there. It does a good chunk because I'm a modest one as opposed to a timid one, and I get to Volt Switch into my Hitmontop once again. I didn't really have anything that wanted to take a Scald, but I knew I was going to be able to get the Rapid Spin off right now. And I knew this 100% because I actually run Foresight on this top. It's not a move that I was running in past generations, but Ghosts are a little bit more present in OU than in past generations, I guess. And I'm also using this in OU as well, as opposed to UU. So yeah, running into Gengar a lot, running into Trevenant a decent amount as well. And I just want to be able to get the spin off as soon as possible. So he's like, oh yeah, I'm going to spin block you again. And I was like, no, I have identified you as a spoopy-ass tree, and we're just going to get a rapid spin off on you. I don't care if I get burned by the Will-O-Wisp or anything like that. I need status fodder, and I also need these rocks off the field, because otherwise it just so happens that my U-turn Volt Switch core happens to be weak to Stealth Rocks. So that's not a good thing, but I'm at least glad that with the team I tossed together, I did bring a spinner. So Hitmontop's actually going to be kind of important in this matchup, but I did get the rocks off the field for now. It's nice. It turns out he misses the Will-O-Wisp even with the buffed accuracy. This Hitmontop is one smooth criminal. Like, he just missed the Will-O-Wisp, and he also did not get burned by the Scald. So I was like, well, that's enough luck for today. I'm pushing that. Speaking of luck, I ran into 2 shinies. I ran into a Wingull while I was EVing my Zangoose in speed, and I ran into a Vanillite while I was EV training for attack. So I need an EV resetting barrier. I'll probably get that from somebody else. But it was exciting. Like, right as I was about to start the narration, I was like, why is that one pink? That's something else. So Anyway, I completely looked away for a second, but T-Tar comes in on whatever the hell else I just did, and I'm just going to Volt Switch out on it. I have no reason to stay in on that. And look at how much it does. Like, that's a modest Volt Switch. It's still stab. It still hurts a good amount. And more importantly, it's a good opportunity to bring in my Mawile and go for the Mega Evolution. At least that's what I thought. I forgot to click the Mega Evolution button, and it turns out he crits me even through the Intimidate anyways, so we're not going to see any Mega Mawile action, unfortunately. Every other match in the tournament, it did great, but in this one, it just comes in and it dies that quickly. It's so upsetting. But the Earthquake does not do that much to my Aegislash, so I'm actually just going to go for a Sacred Sword right now. I'm not going to mess around with boosting or anything like that at this point in the game, especially while he still has... I think he's still got some things that can switch in on this just fine. So this thing dies means that as soon as the sand wears out, it is gone for good. And there's nothing else I have to worry about going forward. So we have Slowbro. I do not want to go for a stock Shadow Sneak. I want to go for a King Shield right now just to see what move he's going to lock himself in on, as well as get myself some extra lefties recovery and also recover off... Or no, I'm stall out the sand is what I'm aiming to do. So it'll stall out a little bit of sand on him. I'll get a little bit of lefties, and we'll be good to go. I saw no reason not to go for the King Shield, especially because he's choice. It's no, like I said, no reason. There's so many benefits to going for that. And I see he's going for Scald, so I'm like, well, I might as well go into Noivern. If it gets burned, it's not that big a deal. U-turn is really not doing that much anyways, and then the Sandstorm just wears off on this turn. So I'm going to go for Draco. This is, in fact, a Specs Draco. Noivern is not that potent of a special attacker, but the fact that it gets Infiltrator, and it's super fast, and Slowbro is not that well, the speed has nothing to do with the fact that I just wrecked the Slowbro shit. I'm trying to just leave the fact that Noivern definitely has some redeeming qualities to it. I was not expecting an Ice Shard here. I was expecting him to Shell Smash, but it turns out that he told me after the match he was running a Choice Banded Cloyster, which I'm not 100% sure how I feel about that. I kind of feel like it needs the attack and the speed in order to do something. But hey, he lived up to his nickname. Freaking smashed my Noivern in and just kind of left. So I go for a Foresight because I'm thinking that his Trevins is going to come in, but in fact, I just identify that the thing that looks like a bird in front of me is in fact 100% a bird. So I don't want to stay in on Talonflame. I'm going to switch out to my Heat Rotom. It's one of the main reasons I brought this guy. It was either this or Rotom Wash, and I had been ping-ponging between Azumarill and some other stuff as well. So I figured we'll try out Heat Rotom. I know it's not the best thing, but we'll just go for it. And it turns out that he can still take me out with an Acrobatics and a Brave Bird. He's probably not running an item on this because Acrobatics still did a pretty good amount. And it takes me out. If I didn't have that Stealth Rock switch in from earlier, that probably would have worked out a little bit better. But at least I know now he's not Choice Banded. It's something good to keep in mind. And then it turns out that he's also got... he's got Roost, which is expected, but I know that I can King Shield everything on his moveset, and I can just Swords Dance in his face right now because Aegislash is pretty damn bulky. Now that I know he doesn't have an item because he's running Acrobatics, there's no way a Flare Blitz is going to take me out from stock, and I can definitely King Shield right here if I want to, lower his attack, and get a little bit more of... some Swords Dances under my belt. By the way, did we notice this? This thing looks really cool. I've just been kind of lurking around on Reddit and insta-checking my eggs and stuff, looking for correct matches and stuff. But I only do this for the things that I really absolutely want shinies of. So it includes this, and I'm working on Absol right now. But it's pretty cool. So Cloyster's going to come in. I believe it is going to go for an Icicle Spear, but because I'm still in my defensive form, it is really not going to do that much. Even Choice Banded, it does like 9 per hit? 9 per hit. So not a lot of variance on that. Does around 50 total. What are these text messages? They might be mildly important. Okay. No, they're not that important. But I get to go for Sacred Sword and just knock him out because it turns out he's not defensively invested or anything like that. And I'm at like +4. I think we know where this is going at this point. T-Tar's gone. Let me see. This is gone. Talonflame, if it wants to go for a priority Brave Bird, I'll just King Shield first, and then I'll go for Sacred Sword, and then a Shadow Sneak? Or, I don't know. I haven't really figured it out yet. But this thing tries to go for a Protect, and it's just kind of pointless because I'm just going to keep Shadow Sneaking. I'm pretty sure I can take it out after the +4, especially with that. I think we know where this is going. So just get to go for Shadow Sneak and take him out. I think he turned out to be the Harvest variant anyway. We might have seen the Citrus Berry happen along. The crit didn't matter. Crit did not matter whatsoever. That thing, I used a cutting tool to slice a tree. I think that plays, if it doesn't play any importance into it, then whatever. And it turns out there's one other Pokemon we hadn't seen, which happens to be his Mega Medicham. I don't remember off the top of my head whether or not it gets any defensive boosts or anything of the sort, but the fact of the matter is I'm still attacking with a +4 Shadow Sneak, and he is weak to it, so he is just going to, he's just going to die as quickly as he came on the field. Just like my Mawile. How's them apples taste for you? Motherfucker. I wanted to use Mega Mawile. I was so psyched for it. That was one of the first games that I rotated out for, but it was like, oh, damn it, that sucks. But Talonflame's going to come in. I'm going to go for a King Shield just to get the drop on him to ensure that I can go for a Shadow Sneak and take him out. And then hopefully not take that much damage from anything else. Or at least hopefully he'll die to recoil, I think is what I wanted to have happen there. And he just realizes, you know what, this is my last thing. It's not working out. So it kind of culminated into an Aegislash sweep. I didn't even have to use Alakazam. There was a couple of other closer games. There was one where I used Mega Ampharos, and then it turns out it just turned into an Azumarill sweep. So I was like, well, that's not really that fun at all. But this is probably the best one I got from Saturday. So hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, you can leave a like rating, comment, and subscribe, and do your thing. And I think that should do it out of me, so I'll definitely see you guys tomorrow. I think I have more material for tomorrow, too. So send my regular stuff. Awesome. We'll see you. Bye.